Alright, I'll eventually figure out some way of doing an intro. Um, yeah. But until then, I'll just start speaking before I'm actually supposed to. Like when you're editing stuff, you're supposed to like not start for a few seconds to allow editing. Since I'm not editing, I don't need to really do that. But I'll just start in on it. But it kind of gives you time to like gather your thoughts or whatever. Which, if I did that, I would have to write out everything I was going to do. I'm just going off the top of my head, though. Which means I make a lot of fucking mistakes. But, yeah, this video. I'm going to talk about a post I saw on Facebook. A friend on my Facebook posted it. She is religious, I guess. She doesn't really seem religious until you bring it up. Then suddenly she becomes religious. But the post was by some Christian guy who is like, I can't remember his name. The dude with the banana guy. I can't remember his fucking name. But yeah, it was a post from him, something he said. Ray Comfort, that's it. Something about how, Christians don't hate Santa Claus, fairies, leprechauns, because they don't exist. So why do Christians hate God? Because he does exist. And, the first issue with that statement is the fact that it comes from Ray Comfort. And he is the least credible person that you could ever speak to. Like, he's just not very, no one should listen to him. He has been caught for editing video to make it seem like you're an asshole or whatever. Like, he'll ask a series of questions. He'll only edit in, like, 2 of those questions, but he'll edit all your answers into the individual questions, even though they're for other questions. So then you sound like you're answering, like, to save your own life, would you run over a baby? Most people will be like, what the fuck? But he'll edit the answers to, where people are just like straight face, like, anytime. Shit like that. And, he's an asshole for it. But he's not very credible. He's the furthest thing from credible. Let's go on with the statement, because I'm sure some people agree with that statement who are religious, who don't seem to understand what atheism is. Me personally, I'm not atheist, I'm agnostic, but, to me, there is no proof one way or the other. You can't prove God exists, but you can't prove that he doesn't exist. It's not something we can prove without, shooting ourselves and seeing what's on the other side. Or even if there is another side. So, and I'm not going to do that, but I follow science, so if science one day has the ability to prove that there is something that happens to the conscious mind when you die that results in some form of an afterlife, then, I'll go ahead and believe that there is one. Though it probably won't be the way that we think of it, because, yeah. But yeah, I don't have a say as to whether there is a God or not. But going on from there, atheists don't hate God. Atheists, if they do show hate towards a religion in any way, it's hate towards the people of that specific religion for the things that they've done, for the hatred that they spew, for the inability of them to accept other people. For example, like atheists. I grew up in a Bible Belt area in Tennessee. So, basically all you hear is like, atheists are the devil and science is wrong. And then you'll hear people that are like, oh, science is right, but then they don't believe in evolution. And it's just like, you don't pick and choose in science. Science sits there and they debate themselves over and over and over. That's why everything is called a theory. It's basically, in science, what a lot of people don't understand that are religious. We call it a theory not because we're guessing or because we think that might be the answer. It's because we have, for the most part, proven that is true, or it's the most logical answer for the situation. Not to say that theories can't be disputed, that's why it's called a theory. It's so that you can always question it, and what helps science grow, what helps science thrive is questioning science. And the thing is you have to do it in a logical way. If you don't understand how the world works and how science works, then you can't really truly question it, because you're questioning it from a stance of ignorance. And you can't question something if you yourself don't understand it. But, I come from that kind of area where people are just like, well, science is wrong because evolution is wrong. And then you have people that are like talking about evolution like it's some kind of religion, which it is far from religion. It's like you don't understand what a religion is then. Religions view spiritual. They're all afterlife. That's what makes a religion a religion. It's it's something that you get rewarded with in the afterlife for how you act now. And yeah. Evolution doesn't give you anything. It's just trying to explain how the world progresses, evolves. But atheists don't hate God because they don't believe in God. So there is no hatred towards a deity. There's nothing there. There's nothing there to hate. It's like staring into abyss and being like, I hate you. there's nothing there to hate. There's nothing to spew hate at. There's nothing. But the followers who are, justifying their actions with God, or, like those people that drown their kids and be like, well, God told me to do it, or like, the suicide bombers, or the people that are in, like, Africa and places like that are stoning people. It's not just Islam, it's Christianity as well that are still doing it in the Middle East and Africa. Judaism, same thing. But it's just atheist hate that you're using this idea of a God as your justification for the stupid shit that you do. And that's what atheists hate. They don't like that you're gonna try to say that a deity is your justification. They don't like that the reason you hate somebody is because of a book that you've read, partially. So, like, it's not your deity or the idea of your deity that atheists hate. It's the people of your religion that atheists hate, that spew hate. And yeah. That's all I got to say on that subject. But it's basically Ray Comfort. You shouldn't listen to fucking Ray Comfort. He's an idiot. He's known as the banana guy. I mean, come on. He's too stupid to understand a banana. That's like basic level science kind of shit. I mean, he's a moron. You don't listen to him. Not saying that sometimes even idiots come up with good ideas. Because sometimes they do. I'm just saying that he likes to dilute the idea of science with lies. And if your religion is so strong, if your religion is as great as as you claim, then you don't need to dilute science with lies to make people think badly of science. You should be able to look at science in all its glory and still be like, yeah, I still believe in God, that kind of thing. If you can look at science and look at your religion in its entirety and still believe in it, then that's good, because you truly believe it. And it's better to truly believe than have to sit there and listen to lies and base your decision off that. I value truth. So truth versus what your religion views as truth. So, scientific truth versus religious truth. Which one comes out on top? Which one's most logical to you? Which one makes more sense to you? And if by the end of that, your religion still comes out on top, and you've read your Bible from cover to cover, and all that, and you still believe in your religion, then go for it. Now, another thing about that is you don't have to give up God or Jesus, whatever, to believe in science. To me, if there is a God, and I believe in evolution, so if there is a God, to not follow what science has discovered as truth would be a discredit to your God. It would be like spitting in his face just because of some book. So if there is a God and he created this world, then he would have created evolution on top of that, because it's scientific truth. If you don't believe in those scientific truths that have been proven, tested, and all that, then, tested and then proven, not proven and then tested. You can't do that. That doesn't make even sense. But you can still believe in God and believe in evolution. You can still believe in God and believe in everything that consists of science. Science does not touch the subject of spirituality. In science, spirituality is not a question. Science doesn't question spirituality, though it's just something that keeps getting brought up because a lot of Christians are all like, well, the Bible says otherwise. And then they bring up God, and then God gets thrown in there. But God is never a question when it comes to evolution or anything like that, because all that's getting questioned in evolution is the world that we can see, the physical world that is right there in front of us. And so you can still believe in Jesus, you can still believe in Allah, you can still believe in whatever the hell other gods, whatever you want to believe in. If you want to worship a tree, you can go ahead and worship a tree and say it's God, or the reincarnation of God, or whatever. It doesn't matter. What matters is whether or not you also believe in the truth, the physical truth of this world. And the thing is if there is a God, and you really do believe in God, to deny the scientific facts would be to deny your Creator on top of that. Because it's truth. It's right there. It's been proven as truth. It's scientific fact. You can try to deny it, but the truth is right there in front of you. Evolutionists aren't saying you can't believe in Jesus, you can't believe in God, you can't believe in whatever. That's not what evolutionists are saying. Evolutionists are saying things evolve. Things change over time based on their environment, what they have to go through, and all that. And eventually, they become different species over millions of years of change. That does not mean that you can't believe in God then. But, a lot of Christians talk about the glory of God. If anything would be the glory of God, it would be evolution. Because the idea to think that your God is so simple-minded that he can only create a single species and just poof them into existence is just, I don't know. If I was an all-powerful being, I would create a system that would be self-sustaining, so I don't have to sit there and watch over it 24/7. You know, I would create a system that would allow itself to grow, allow itself to learn, and prosper that way. You know, but I don't know. The idea that there can't be an evolution because God is like saying that, you know, we can't exist because, you know, the cars just poof themselves into existence kind of thing. It's it's stupid. You can keep your religion, but you also have to realize scientific fact, and evolution is a scientific fact. Fuck, that's way too long.